Technology isn't just about faster chips and brighter screens anymore. It's about how we interface with reality. Today, we're exploring the latest tech trends that are blurring the lines between the digital and the physical. Chinese tech firm is allegedly working on the world's first gestation robot. The innovation uses artificial amniotic fluid and nutrient delivery via hose, replicating natural gestation, now to be integrated into humanoid robots. A Chinese tech firm is racing to deliver what could be the world's first gestation robot. The idea from Kaiwa Technology, based in Guangzhou, involves a humanoid designed with an artificial womb embedded in its abdomen, intended to carry a fetus through 10 months of gestation and deliver a baby, according to Chinese media outlets. Slated for debut by 2026 and expected to sell for under 100,000 yuan, around $13,900. The robot aims to offer a pregnancy alternative for those who wish to avoid the burdens of human gestation. The announcement has triggered intense public discourse, from ethical unease to hopeful possibilities for the infertile. Recently, Chinese researchers introduced GAIR, the world's first AI-powered breeding robot, capable of autonomous cruising and cross-pollination to cut costs, shorten cycles, and boost efficiency. Humanoid birth machine. The bold vision of a humanoid surrogate pregnancy robot was presented at the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing by Zhang Qifeng, founder of Kaiwa Technology and affiliated with Nanyang Technological University, according to ECNS. According to Qifeng, it is not merely an incubator but a life-sized humanoid equipped with an artificial womb in its abdomen, capable of replicating the entire process from conception to delivery. The core innovation lies in artificial womb technology, where a fetus develops in artificial amniotic fluid and receives nutrients through a hose, mimicking natural gestation. Dr. Zhang claimed the technology is already mature in laboratory settings and now needs integration into a humanoid form to enable real human-robot interaction during pregnancy, according to Oddity Central. Qifeng anticipates that a prototype of his pregnancy robot will be ready within a year, priced at under $13,900. On the topic of ethical and legal considerations, he said discussions have already been held with authorities in Guangdong province, and related proposals have been submitted as part of ongoing policy and legislative deliberations, reports Chosen Biz. However, current artificial wombs function more like neonatal incubators, supporting life only after partial gestation. For Dr. Zhang's concept to work, the technology must advance to support fertilization, implantation, and full-term pregnancy. Details he did not disclose, leaving questions about the scientific, ethical, and legal challenges ahead. Another notable development showcased at the 2025 World Robot Conference is the world's first AI-powered breeding robot, integrating artificial intelligence and biotechnology to revolutionize crop breeding. Led researchers at the Institute of Genetics and Developmental Biology, Chinese Academy of Sciences, the team used gene editing to create male sterile flowers, enabling the robot to produce hybrid seeds efficiently. Combined with advanced methods like de novo domestication and speed breeding, GAIR forms the world's first intelligent robotic breeding factory, capable of rapidly generating high-quality plant varieties. GAIR has already been applied to develop a male sterile soybean system, potentially boosting China's hybrid breeding capacity and crop yields. Su noted that the project establishes a closed-loop system for intelligent, fully autonomous robotic breeding, pioneering AI-driven agriculture. According to researchers, with biotechnology as the foundation, AI as the driver, and robotics as the operator, the innovation demonstrates China's leading role in merging AI with biological breeding. Editor's note: after this story was first published, multiple outlets, including Snopes and Live Science, verified that the pregnancy robot claims were fabricated. The inventor could not be traced, the images were AI-generated, and no such project exists. Also trending: China's dancing robots. How worried should we be? Eye-catching martial arts performance at China Gala had viewers and experts wondering what else humanoids can do. Dancing humanoid robots took center stage on Monday during the annual China Media Group's Spring Festival Gala, China's most-watched official television broadcast. They lunged and backflipped, landing on their knees. They spun around and jumped. Not one fell over. The display was impressive but prompted some to wonder, If robots can now dance and perform martial arts, what else can they do? Experts have mixed opinions, with some saying the robots had limitations and that the display should be viewed through a lens of state propaganda. Developed by several Chinese robotics firms, the robots performed a range of intricate stunts, including kung fu, comedy sketches, and choreographed dance moves alongside human performers. Clips circulating online quickly drew comparisons with last year's Lunar New Year broadcast, which also featured dancing robots but with noticeably simpler movement. Kyle Chan, an expert in China's technology development at Brookings Institution, a policy organization in Washington, D.C., said Beijing uses these public robot performances to dazzle domestic and international audiences with China's technological prowess. Unlike AI models or industrial equipment, humanoid robots are highly visible examples of China's technological leadership that general audiences can see on their phones or televisions, he said, pointing to intensifying competition in the tech space between China and the US. Chan added, "While China and the US are neck and neck on AI, humanoid robots are an area where China can claim to be ahead of the US, particularly in terms of scaling up production." George Steeler, the he of robotics and automation at the global technology consulting firm Steeler Technology and Marketing, also emphasized the symbolism of China's primetime broadcast. What distinguishes the gala from comparable events elsewhere is the directness of the pipeline from industrial policy to primetime spectacle, Steeler said in a statement. Comparing this year's performances with last year's, when viewers saw fundamentally a single choreographic mode with limited motions including walking, twisting, and kicking, Steeler said one key signal of China's robot progress is the ability to run large numbers of near-identical humanoids in synchronized motion with stable gaits and consistent joint behavior. But Steeler also noted, stage performance does not equate to industrial robustness. Yet, he said what the robots did was the result of being trained for a routine hundreds or thousands of times. You could not just tell them to change direction or do something completely different. These dance motions involve very little environmental perception and are essentially imitation learning plus a balance-keeping controller. That has little bearing on reliability in unstructured environments, a prerequisite for factory-grade deployment. Also, the progress in dexterity is not as fast as in locomotion, he added. The unveiling of China's latest generation of robots underscores the country's broader technological ambitions. By the end of 2024, China had registered 451,700 smart robotics companies, with a total capital of 6.44 trillion yuan, approximately $932.16 billion, according to state data. Major government projects such as Made in China 2025 and the 14th Five-Year Plan have made robotics and AI key Beijing priorities. Morgan Stanley projects that China's humanoid sales will more than double to 28,000 units in 2026. And Elon Musk has said he expects his biggest competitor to be Chinese companies as he pivots Tesla toward a focus on embodied AI and its flagship humanoid Optim. People outside China underestimate China, but China is an ass-kicker next level, Musk said last month. Marina Zhang, a technology professor at the University of Technology Sydney, said that such a visible showcase likely hints at a new phase in China's manufacturing master plan, where robotics becomes a linchpin in the shift from low-cost assembly to high-end, smart manufacturing. Moving on. Unitree G1 robot, world's first humanoid robot that walked 130,000 steps in deep snow at -47 degrees Celsius in China. China's Unitree G1 humanoid robot has successfully completed an extreme cold test in Xinjiang, walking through deep snow at -47 degrees Celsius. The experiment highlights major progress in robotics designed for harsh environments. Science and technology go hand in hand. A very real example for this is China's humanoid robot who passed extreme cold test in snowy conditions. The engineers showcase advanced robotics through challenging winter field trials. The test highlights growing strength of China's artificial intelligence industry. Experts say such trials prove robots can survive harsh environments. The experiment drew global attention from scientists and technology watchers. Robot that walked through deep snow in severe cold. Unitree G1 completed a long-distance walk across frozen landscapes. The robot walked nearly 130,000 steps in snow. It created a giant Olympic emblem visible from above. Temperatures dropped to -47 degrees Celsius during testing. Despite conditions, the robot continued moving without major failures. Test conducted in northern China's Xinjiang region. The experiment took place during peak winter in northern China. Scientists selected Xinjiang for its extreme weather conditions. The location provided natural cold stress for electronic systems. The test lasted several hours under continuous low temperatures. Observers monitored performance using drones and remote cameras. Unitree engineers and robotics researchers. Unitree Robotics organized and supervised the entire cold experiment. Company engineers prepared the robot for thermal protection. Research teams collected data on movement and power usage. Technology experts evaluated the robot's endurance levels. Media teams documented the event for public awareness. Unitree G1 maintained balance throughout most of the journey. Minor slips occurred but did not stop progress. Battery systems remained functional despite freezing temperatures. Motors showed stable performance under heavy strain. Communication systems transmitted data without major interruptions. Significance of testing robots for real-world in extreme conditions. Cold temperatures weaken batteries and damage sensitive electronics. Many robots fail when exposed to freezing environments. This test shows improved resistance to harsh weather. It supports future deployment in disaster zones and polar regions. Such capability expands industrial and scientific applications. A step forward for cold-resistant humanoid robots. The test proves robots can survive extreme winter environments. It marks progress in durable artificial intelligence systems. Scientists see new possibilities for remote operations. Cold-resistant machines may shape future technological missions. That's the latest in the world of tech. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. If you found this update useful, drop a like and share it with your network. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the next video.